Hey guys, how you doing? Happy Shenmue Day, happy 4th of July for those in America, Independence Day. Hope you're all doing well. Apologies for a bit flustered. I literally got home from work about 40 minutes ago, so it's been a bit of a rush and a bit of a manic news day as well. It's the only way I can describe things.
Insane.
But before I dive in, James, man, how you doing?
I'm doing good, man. Just like you, mate. I'm all hot, bothered, flustered. I just think it's been absolutely crazy today. I don't know why. I've
It's
got so overwhelmed with like everything. Just on about
abs-
how the internet's just taken over our lives, hasn't it?
It's
It's
been
just madness.
absolutely fucking insane today. So let's dive. Oh, thank you for the sub daily gaming videos. As always, thank you
Kaikan
so
as well, actually.
much. Right, diving into the news section, there is quite a bit actually. There is Shenmue related news, there is non Shenmue related news, there is a bit of everything for everyone today, believe it or not. It's, yeah, absolute insanity. I suppose the biggest news, although it didn't break today, is Air Twister is coming to all platforms on November the 10th. All areas, all platforms. And James, do you want to take us through the details of what they announced today?
Yeah, Jesus. So we have known that obviously there's going to be a physical edition of Air Twister coming, but today we did get this news come through that there's a seemingly exclusive Japanese collector's edition that you can available that's available to pre-order right now. This is available over on Beep Shop, which Beep I think is a publication in Japan. Remember that being that magazine where I think Beep was actually where Yu Suzuki's research trip to China was actually first published,
Okay.
which is interesting little tidbit of information for you there. And the other shop that probably most of us are going to pre-order from is Amazon Japan. So we've got two links depending on your game of choice, I suppose, whether you want it on PS4 or where am I putting this actually? I haven't even got the chat up.
I can chuck it in if
Um,
you want, man, for the links while you're talking.
yeah, go on then, mate. Might as well, yeah. So yeah, chuck that in there. That's got all the information anyway. But yeah, you can get it for the PS5 or the Switch in this Japanese collector's edition. I believe it's going to get a Western release and a Western collector's edition, potentially through strictly limited games, who tend to do a lot of the in releases of their games. So this is mainly probably just for the collectors out there that want to support Air Twister. Again, I think everyone should support Air Twister because it's probably a way to get in Shenmue 4. You know, it's going to bridge the gap from where we're at now to like potentially getting a Shenmue 4. Because if Yu Suzuki projects are successful, that's going to look good on him. You know, if they're still seeking a publisher or whatever for Shenmue 4, and he's getting successful side project games, then they're like, well, yeah, you know, Yu Suzuki's back, he knows what he's doing, kind of thing, and you know, it can only help. And obviously, then you're getting the income as well, profits that they're earning from these games. All could be reinvested into Shenmue 4 for all we know. So yeah, I think you should definitely support it. I'll be picking up a Japanese collector's edition and a Western collector's edition just because I feel like they're going to be different contents. Um,
And
you shared
that's,
the image of the actual
yes.
collector's edition earlier, Matt. What you get inside, and I think there's a couple of things in there that is the reason why this is probably a Japanese exclusive, in my opinion.
I mean, it's got an art, it's got a piece of artwork, isn't it, which looks hand drawn. So that could well be one of those particular
Yeah,
items. So
I pulled this out. This was from the Shenmue 3 Kickstarter. Some of the high tiers got these. It's like I think they've just got a ton. Where's my camera? A ton of these white cardboard with gold trims. Maybe they've just got like a warehouse full of these, and they're like, well, what can we use these for? And it looks like if you're looking at the image, Matt's probably got it on the screen. I don't know, um,
I can get it.
but it's got like it looks like it's got a hand drawn
Possibly.
piece of concept art, or maybe the artist that did the concept art. You know, like your the Miyawaki-san that did the concept art for Shenmue. Maybe not him, but the guy that's doing the Air Twister one. Maybe he's hand drawn this piece, and then Yu Suzuki's hand signed it. That's how it looks like to me. Obviously, we should get some more information on that at some point. But yeah, really cool, Matt. That's the Air Twister stuff, I guess.
It's been,
Um,
I mean, that's the big news, isn't it? The Air Twister stuff, which like you
I think
said,
we should be getting more details on the 10th of July, right?
yeah, we should. In
Where
terms
have I had that date from?
that was, I believe, on they tweeted out in games tweeted out. It might have been July 14th. Check it, but
Right.
it's next week sometime. That they're going to announce the Western pre-orders for it. There is going to be a release for Xbox. In the West, it looks like it'll be physical from what I can see, and PC, Steam. So it's all platforms. In the West, all platforms will get a release of this game, which is great. And as you were saying around supporting this thing, it really is a way to help fund Shenmue 4. Because when you think about it, if Wisenet can walk in with a successful project, that looks good. But if they can also front up a bunch of cash towards Shenmue 4, that means a publisher's going to have to take less risk. So if they then might go, do you know what, we can go in on this? Because if, say, Wisenet picked up half the tab for funding Shenmue 4, that's a substantial amount of money. The publisher might go, actually, do you know what, we can make some money off of this thing now. Let's do it. And there you go. That's so it all feeds into the bigger goal here. Now, obviously, I'm not going to encourage people to spend beyond their means because that's ridiculous. But I will be getting myself, the Western Collector's Edition, probably the Japanese Collector's Edition. I'm going to get myself a Switch copy, and I'll probably get a PC copy at some point as well because fuck it. It works out as about 20 quid for the base edition, which isn't that bad. It's pretty good.
That's not bad.
And when you consider the replayability in this thing as well, it's bargain for money, value for money. And it's good, as I can see in the chat, Retro Godfather said, it's good to see Yu Suzuki back in here making games. I'll cover DMP projects separately later. And welcome, by the way, E. Frederick, hope you're well. And I'll go through chats in a minute. Moving on from Air Twister, we have ourselves Shenmue, the Shenmue documentary, A Gamer's Journey, Definitive History of Shenmue, is now available to stream on a multitude of platforms currently. I believe iTunes, Amazon, Google, Vimeo, and is that it, James? Or am I missing any at all?
I've got the list in front of me. So Apple TV, Amazon, YouTube, Google Play, Microsoft Store, Vimeo.
There we go. So just missed the one there. It's about £10 to £12, depending on where you're getting it from. If you want to get hold of it, James has chucked the link up there for everybody to have a look and find it for you. Cracking documentary. Wow, worth the investment, guys, of your time. And for anybody who didn't back it on Kickstarter, there might be some physical copies dotted around once Adam's finished his shipping, but that's still in process at the moment. But if you want to watch it now and support this documentary, there you go. But also, when you've watched this thing, go over up to IMDb, all the places that you can leave reviews, like on Apple TV, etc., and review it and let everybody know what you thought of it. I think it's sitting at 4.5 stars on IMDb at the moment, which is pretty damn good. And it then takes us into the review video that James and I have literally published at 7 o'clock this evening, where we review and talk about our thoughts around the documentary. And the spoiler alert is, guys, it's bloody brilliant. It's really, really good. Well put together. Well worth the wait. I'm not going to spoil it anymore. Check out the link for the review, guys. It's spot on. Even more news. Virtua Fighter interview, James. You want to take us away on that one?
Yeah, okay. So with the help of Miles Per Hour, who is in the chat, Stuart Peacock, basically he's had his Virtua Fighter ST vinyl come through, and it was already touted that there was going to be this full-on Yu Suzuki interview, Virtua Fighter themed interview that was going to be included with this vinyl record. Stu's kindly to take photos of this interview. We've transcribed them into another news post. So there's been more news posts on the front page of the dojo than there has been for about 3 months recently. There you go. We both posted that at the same time, Matt. So if you want to read the latest Yu Suzuki interview, doesn't really touch upon anything Shenmue related apart from probably like the last question or so. Is a little Shenmue-esque. But yeah, just checking the IMDb rating, Matt, for the documentary.
Yeah.
9.6 out of 10.
9.6. I thought it was out of 5 stars, you see. That's why I had 4.5 in my head. So 9.6 out of 10.
9.6.
There you go, guys. Pretty bloody good, if you ask me.
Very good.
And also,
So yeah, that's that one.
if you want the link to the Virtua Fighter OST, you can get it from Cartridge Thunder, and the link is coming into the chat right now for everybody. I also think you can get.
Brilliant.
Can you get these off of Sega Shop?
You can as well, can't you? I forgot about that. Yeah, I was just thinking, with it being a Cartridge Thunder release,
is it different?
I would link that.
Yeah, I'd link that. Hey, Anadil.
I'm not sure. There is some variations, isn't there? I think some have got like a blue record.
You'd have to look at it because I don't know basically, but there might be some differences there as well. No, we're not getting down to a realistic number. No, we're not doing that. The last bit of news, older piece of news, for those of you who may have caught the video I did on this, the Empire Top 100 Video Games of All Time, you may remember this poll for back in 2013. Shenmue came in at number 7. They redid it this year. It's coming in at a very respectable number 41. I know it's a bit of a drop from where it was originally, when you consider the releases between, for basically 10 years, some recency bias and all the rest of it, and also some negative press that Shenmue has had previously. I think it's a pretty good showing given all the factors we've had against it recently. So I'll put the link in for everybody to see it. But it's a good result all the same. Older piece of news, and to be honest, I'm quite surprised they even bothered to do it in the end, because it was months between the two of them.
It was months, wasn't it? I've noticed.
Long time.
We mentioned it on a show, maybe all the way back in January or something.
I did a video. I think it was in February. I think it was February. I did a video on it. So, yeah, absolute insanity. So yeah, that.
Just check the Sega Shop, Matt, and even though the vinyl record thing's on one of the banners that scrolls across the top, looks like they've all gone.
Oh really?
There's no vinyls on the website at all. You can't even get the House of the Dead one.
Bloody hell, those sold out quick.
I don't know what's happened to them.
Fucking hell, fair play. Right, before we dive into some Shenmue 2, let's say hello to everybody in chat. I've seen Renners is in, Ginger Fairy is in, Lord Tensei's in, I've seen Sheep in as well. Obviously, Stuart's in. Thank you for your help getting that article translated. Master Mo's in. E. Frederick is in as well. I'm just going to Scribe. How you doing, bud? I've just seen you as well. I've seen Anna Dill pop in. Terry's in as well. Guys, thank you as always for dropping in. Daily gaming videos. And Tenji Razor is somebody who I don't think I've seen before, but welcome in all the same. If I've missed anybody, guys, apologies. Yeah, a little bit flustered. Bit of a rush today. All things
welcome in, everyone,
being equal.
All the regulars,
thank you everybody as always. Now we're going to crack ourselves into some Shenmue 2 at speed, because I'm trying to smash through all 3 games in a year. So we'll just see how we get on. But a question, I guess, to ask everybody, Shenmue related question. It's about one of the videos. Should RGG do Shenmue 4? That's the question to get us kicking us off this evening.
Nice question.
And let's see where I am in the fucking story, because I can't remember. Chaoan sign. Okay.
A little bit later, I'll go through all the giveaways.
Oh yeah,
we've got,
shit! I forgot about the giveaways.
Don't worry about it. I might as well talk about them while you're playing.
Yeah, go for it. Whenever you're ready, man.
Catch up on the RGG vid. What points did you make again, Matt?
I can't remember. It's so long ago since I recorded that fucking thing. Yeah. People probably guess. I record videos in batches, and then I can sort of...
Well, you did. Did you do that one before that RGG?
I did that
summer special stream thing.
It was around that time. But I can't quite remember how I did it. I've got a good one actually coming out Saturday, but I won't spoil it.
One benefit of them actually working with Yu Suzuki is that we might get a Shenmue game every 6 months. That seems to be how many Yakuza games we get in it.
I think they could do a good job with it. I do agree with what everybody's saying in chat so far. As Yu Suzuki, I think, needs to be heavily involved from a story point and making sure that it has that feel still.
Yeah.
葉月さん、あなたは修善先生のところにい
So,
た名神です。先日はどう
right.
も。
So,
先生があなた
I
に
was going to mention this within the news segment, guys, but there's 4 giveaways going on today, believe it or not. The first one is a copy of
行ってみるか。
Gamer's Journey Definitive History of Shenmue documentary, sealed Blu-ray, and a, if I can put it the right way around, a lovely little Yu Suzuki poster. You've got to watch the review video to find out how to win that, though. Sort of the prerequisite of that giveaway. We did link that earlier, but you'll find it on our YouTube channel, Shenmue Dojo. It's quite spoiler heavy, I guess, if you haven't seen the documentary. So I don't know. How do you feel about that, Matt? We're giving away a copy of the documentary in a spoiler heavy.
Wow, that's the risk people need to take. That's the risk you take. If you want to win a copy, you got to weigh that up. I'm sure you can work out when we do it anyway.
Yeah, that's true. Second giveaway is our huge one. Not that the documentary isn't huge. All of these giveaways are huge. But this is huge in the amount of stuff that we're giving away there. That's finally donated by Adam Korolik. And Scribe helped us to ascertain those items from some gaming event in, was it Norwich or something?
Yes.
A while back.
It was.
Yeah. So many thanks to Adam for sending us these goodies. So off the top of my head, it's the full set of the Sacred Spot guides from Japan, English and Japanese variants, even the anime one. So if you don't have any of them yet, or you're missing some, there's a chance to get the full set, along with a... Oh, I don't think I've got any to hand. Oh, I have. Along with a Shenmue 3 double-sided mirror medallion queen thing, and a plaster pack, and 2 promotional Shenmue 3 sleeves. So that's your huge giveaway there. That's from that link there. Just follow the dojo on Twitter, retweet, like, what you'd expect to do on a Twitter giveaway. Third giveaway is... What's the third giveaway, Matt?
Third giveaway I've got is some game codes for Shenmue 1, 2 and 3. So guys, if you know anybody who hasn't played the games before, might be interested, point them in the direction of this giveaway. Just some codes. We do it most months, but it's, again, just something to get people involved. And there is one more giveaway.
That's the full set of full series there with that giveaway. Last giveaway is related to Suka Pass. I don't know if anyone has actually updated to the latest build of Suka Pass, but if you do, you'll get a nice pop-up within the app that tells you all the details you need to do. You need to follow to be able to enter this. It's going to be for another Shenmue 3 coin, but this is quite a challenging giveaway, so there's actually probably more chance of you actually winning this if you enter the Suka Pass version of the giveaway. So basically what you've got to do, you've got to go around the Suka Pass app collecting all 17 of the hidden capsule toys. That's linked to the free market update that we did last time around, was that about a month ago now. Basically, once you've found all 17, you get a award that is then displayed within the settings menu on Suka Pass, and you can actually tap it, and that is how you get an entry there. Basically, it records sort of timestamps when you collected the medal and gives us the information there that you are eligible to win. But yeah, let me know how you get on with that. I'm really curious, because I don't know. Seemingly no one's found all 17 yet since we released that update, so I don't know if because they're really hard to find or what. I did start a topic on the dojo where people could, like, as you find one, tell people where you found it, so that maybe you can, like, combine your efforts to find all 17. I don't think they're too hard to find. We made them, like, in obviously related places depending on the toy. So these are cherries, there's a pool table, there's a slot machine, and there's a jukebox. So if you think about what those items are, you should be able to know where to go to find stuff like that within the app.
Sorry, just sorting my sound out. It's a bit loud in my ears.
And I don't think I really linked the thing, but that's the medal giveaway information there. And that's it. All 4 giveaways covered there, Matt.
Brilliant. That's a shitload of giveaways. turn the
If
game
you can
audio.
keep all track of all of that, you're doing a better job than we are.
Let me know if the game audio is a little bit down, guys. I've had to turn down my ears. I can turn it up on stream, by the way. To answer,
I like these emotes from Game Sam.
there was a question. There's two questions. One was around DMP project, which I can confirm is still being worked on quietly. There's a few little exciting bits going on around that, which I can't talk about just yet. But rest assured, that project is being run and put together. And there was one other question I saw in chat. I just need to go back to it. 110 Industries, what's the rumour around that, and Shenmue 4? Quite frankly, in my personal opinion, I think that ship has sailed. Basically.
People are holding out a little bit of hope because of that August tweet where someone was hanging from a helicopter.
Nah.
It says August, but we've kind of disproven that already because there's a character in Wanted Dead who hangs off a helicopter called August. So, there you go.
To answer.
Yo, Joe.
Hey, Joe. Hope you good, man. Cracking last video, by the way. If you haven't seen Joe's latest video,
that is a news topic on its own, man.
Yeah.
Let's get that up.
It's a bit of an older piece of news, but it's a wow worth watching, guys. Like, if you've missed this video, you've been living under a fucking rock. Let's have a quick. I saw a question in chat and I've missed it. Bugger. Any developments with forklift racing? That was it, Scribe. Yes, there are. I'm not at liberty to say anything now, but that is being worked on and has progressed really well behind the scenes.
Got you. That's Joe Kitchen's new video. And it's a clacker.
Absolute cracking video.
Ginger Fairy said, "Do you have the Pixel Rio pin badge yet?"
No.
Is that the Sega
That's
Heroes
the Sega
one? Is
Heroes
that the one you mean?
one. Yeah, I don't.
Yeah.
I don't have that yet. Unfortunately.
It's on high res. Actually, I think it's just. I love picking stuff up that I don't have to stand up for. There you go. Is that the one you mean, Ginger?
That's the bugger, yeah.
There you go. Yeah, you go.
I'd love one
That's
of
not
those.
bad, actually. I don't know why they made them so hard to get, to be honest.
I don't know. They
They
should
were just
have
given out to like.
They should have sold the
press.
They should have sold the fuckers.
They should have, man. Just given out to press and like influencers, I think. And considering we're like the biggest Shenmue influencers on the planet, we didn't even get one.
No. Anyway. Right, let's get. You have to excuse, I'm sort of rushing through Shenmue 2 a little bit.
Oh, that was the news, Matt.
What's that?
Fucking hell, that's the other one that was about.
Oh, the Saturn thing.
Yeah. I was saying to Matt just before we started, I'm sure there's something else, but I can't quite think what it is. So we're going to do another video on this, Matt, at some point. But did you want to talk about it now or not?
So, the long story short is there was a 293-page leak around the Sega Saturn production costs, release schedule, internal emails. I'm talking the full fucking caboodle here.
Yeah.
And long story short, while there was lots of interesting details around the Sega Saturn, how they thought it was going to be competitive with Sony in the West and what they wanted to do, they scheduled a VF RPG, which was originally Shenmue back in the day, for a May 1998 release. So it begs the question, we're going to cover a video on this. Quite frankly, when did they move Shenmue to Dreamcast? If they were scheduling a release for that point there?
Well, let's have a little talk about it, Matt, because we can still do the video. These, you're like our dedicated fan base, you guys, so I'm sure you won't mind if we talk about it again. Probably a third time, actually, because we'll probably mention it on the next podcast as well whenever we do that, Matt. But I don't know, when was this leak from, or this particular, the release date? We're talking this was like 97, perhaps, if it's scheduled to release in 98?
I think this leak was from earlier. Someone in chat who's probably read it in more depth than I have can confirm that. But I thought it was
Yeah,
earlier.
but I think doesn't the leak cover like loads of years?
It
Because
may
there's
well
like
do.
Genesis stuff in there
It may
too,
well
right?
do. I haven't, like I said, I haven't read it all. Like, I haven't had the
I'm just thinking
time.
if there's a specific release date, and for some reason I've got May the 16th in my head. I may have made up the 16th, but for them to have such a precise date of when this thing's going to release, I feel like the game needs to be sort of like they think it's ready, you know, like 6 to 12 months prior. It's going to be ready, if you know what I mean. You know, when a game company announces release date, I know you do get stupid ones like Elder Scrolls 6 or whatever, that, you know. But this one, for it to be on a specific day like that, I feel like they know, or they knew how much left they had to do with the game, if you know what I mean. So going off that basis, I reckon that the footage we got of the Saturn build of Shenmue was probably close to the final build that we were probably going to get, right? Goes all the way to the end of Shenmue 2, because you see Shenfar and Ryo walking through Guilin in that footage. So I would imagine that perhaps the Shenmue 1 segment wasn't very built up, you know, and there was those other little elements like Fukusan looking down the outdoor basement thing, the little chat with Iwao at the start. It was probably maybe more akin to what the script would probably say. The outline of that seemed like it was more Shenmue 2 focused in that footage. Looks alright, Matt.
Yeah.
And Shenmue 1 stuff. So I would imagine that at some point they got word that the Saturn was finished, the Dreamcast was going to be the next big thing, everyone needs to push for the Dreamcast now, and they were like in the wrapping up stages of the Sega's the Saturn Shenmue version. So because of all the money they invested, they knew it was going to get, you know, it was going to be a loss really on the Saturn at that point. So they then decided to carry it over to the Dreamcast, and I don't know, did they remake it from scratch, or were they able to like salvage a lot of the work in this Dreamcast build? And then obviously that one game became two because they split them into halves, didn't they? Shenmue 1 and Shenmue 2 got separate releases on the Dreamcast, whereas it was probably going to be a combined thing. So in the meantime, that extra like year and a half from, say, 97 was my date that I was going for.
Hello.
That they announced this release date. So that time that they decided to move it over to the Dreamcast was like probably like a year and a half, maybe 2 years max. They decided to have like a team to focus on the Shenmue 1 side of things and make that its own game and like work on fleshing that out. And then when that released, the teams continued to work on Shenmue 2, and that's probably when they redid the whole Aberdeen Wanchai area again, in my opinion. You know, the beta footage that we were watching that with Stuart. So I reckon after Shenmue 1 release, then they started going hard on Shenmue 2 to, you know, work on some flaws, flesh that out, and probably redid the whole of Aberdeen.
Do you know what? It's mental. You can see where the money's gone, put it that way. The amount of things they've changed, redone, fucking...
That's all just my thoughts, by the way, guys. I know I was reeling that stuff off as though it was fact, but I was just saying that that's just from this one little bit of news of a release date. You can kind of like imagine how the development structure ended up going.
I think that Saturn stuff, because that's going to take time for people to analyse that properly. There's going to be some really juicy shit in there outside of like the immediate stuff that people have talked about. So I'll be very interested to see what the Sega communities come out with that, just because I'm a nosy fuck. This way. Now to answer another.
What else did they actually say, Cheap? Like you said there was a few mentions of the FRPG.
Looking at very quickly. Another question. Would we want a more realistic Shenmue 4 or a cartoonish style maintaining Shenmue 3 full details available interaction? To be honest, with Shenmue 4, they just need to build off the engine they've already got. That's it. They don't need to do it and then just make it improve from there. Because it's going to waste a lot of money if you start revamping art styles now. But that's a discussion for another day. I reckon that Saturn build is in a basement somewhere. Hopefully one day someone can get their hands on that, because I tell you what, that's like one of the holy grail type things. That, a playable build of Shenmue Online, are probably the two that spring to mind. Excuse me.
Those are two, are they?
Yeah, for me at least. And Shenmue Online, this, like I said, I've been sort of trying to get things lined up around digging around some of the history of that, and there's a lot of litigation, and people are scared to talk about that publicly.
Mental, isn't it? Like over 10 years on,
which begs the fucking question, like, why? Yeah, Jesus.
Yeah. Probably rank them by order of like Holy Grail stuff, and the Saturn build would be the top.
Yeah.
And then it probably would be either Shenmue Online or like that beta stuff we were watching with Stu.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Like Aberdeen and stuff, because that'd be pretty cool with the whatever it had the Meow Village in it.
Oh, that build would be good, yeah.
That'd be a sick build. And then you've got the Tokyo Game Show build thing with the digital land playable area. That'd be cool to play. City.
Yeah, because that's never.
Baisha build.
Yeah.
I just hate how all this stuff just never surfaces. You know what I mean? It's just they've made it. They've spent all that time on it, and no one ever gets to play it. I reckon it would definitely have used the RAM cart. Stu, by the way, the Saturn version.
I can't see how it couldn't.
That is crazy, isn't it? Some real retailers were only making $15 when they sold the Saturn.
That's insane, isn't it? Asmo, has he...
I don't know how they expected to manage on that sort of an income.
Wow, they weren't going to, were they?
It's probably costing them more to house those consoles in the shop.
I absolutely love this QTE sequence, by the way. Asmo Suzuki, has anyone tried Shenmue 3 on PS5 yet? Yes, it does help with things over the standard PS4. Improves the loading times a little bit as well, but you still get some slowdown.
Welcome in, film dude. Yeah, that's true, Stu. We got the Game Jam beta.
Yeah, we did. So, I mean, you never say never, would you?
No. It's just like the longer it goes on as well, these discs are like open to disc rot and all that sort of shit, aren't they? Depending on
where they've been and, yeah, who's
where
had
they
them.
sat. I think back to when, I think it was Danny Russell wanted the Sega Forever guy. He was showing off that he'd found like a stack of these discs, and he was saying like the first time he found these discs in like the Sega archives, they were all kind of like stuck together, and he didn't realise that by like how you take them out of the plastic packaging and all that sort of stuff, the data actually came off onto the, you know, the outer plastic sleeves.
Fucking hell.
Because they've been that stored for that long, if you know what I mean, and probably not the best conditions, moisture and all that sort of stuff.
It's mad, isn't it?
Hopefully none of that's happened to what we want.
I mean, now it's a lot easier, isn't it? With like, I mean, gaming doesn't help itself for preservation, does it? It never has. It's one of the worst industries going for preservation. But now it's easier, isn't it? Because you can back things up quite easily. You've got clouds. You've got all those sorts of things that should be preventative in losing shit, in theory.
Yeah. You think for the amount of people that worked on a Shenmue game, they've all got the Dreamcast stations or whatever they're called, those big box things where they work on like the dev kits or whatever. It was like, what, 300 staff? They're all working on their own build of Shenmue or whatever, the discs. There must be loads of discs knocking about, if you think about it. I just know that like these companies just got rid of them all, didn't they?
They shredded a lot of them.
Yeah, when you were talking to
Mike Reinhardt. They shredded a shitload of it.
Yeah, because you weren't supposed to take any of the discs. It was like kind of illegal to take one. But then they're just going to destroy them anyway. Started reading your comments, Scribe, one sec. So I mean, Shenmue must have had so many changes right down to the Y. Even its name wasn't finalised in '98, but the Project Berkeley disc was included in VF3 TB. That's true. Begs the question: was the Shenmue tree even a thing at that point? He mentions that's another podcast topic that we're going to do, Matt. Right, the Shenmue Master thing. I'm pretty sure in one of those interviews he was saying that the Shenmue tree, or I've read it somewhere recently, the Shenmue tree was literally made up there and then.
It's a podcast topic, isn't it? We're going to go through a load of the old interviews and start talking about what's next in terms of the story. Because actually, we were talking about this in our chat the other day. There's a lot of stuff he's given away, but you don't realise it.
Definitely.
And we're not going to like spoil it all here because it will ruin the show. But there's a lot that actually, when you put it together, he's spoiled quite a bit. And what could or couldn't be happening, coming back, going, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah. The only thing is like if he's chopped and changed it since those interviews. Yeah, I'm looking forward to getting stuck into a good old podcast with you again, man.
Yeah.
Topic. Got quite a good list of topics actually. We've come up with
6 or 7, haven't we, that we want to cover?
Yeah, man. Not just for the sake of it as well, it's like the really interesting topics that we're to discussing.
Where am I going? How much money have I got in game? Oh, 600.
Go for it, film dude. That sounds good, man.
Yeah.
Says I'd love to talk about Shenmue and the future of Shenmue for a video one day.
Go for it.
For it, man.
All the videos I make, I literally write some bullet points and chat shit. That's it.
But you do it so well. That's the problem. I can't do that. I wouldn't be literate really if I had to come up with stuff off the like not come up with it off the top of my head, but like sort of elaborate on those bullet points. Whereas you just do it so seamlessly.
Chat it. Whatever comes into my head.
Some people have got good brains like that. I think you've got a brain that can develop an argument without you even realizing what you're going to argue about until you've said it. If that makes sense.
It does. I mean, I guess at points as well it can lead. There might be things I miss here or there. But
yeah. It's probably like your meeting room head you've got because you're in all these meetings all the time, right? So you're constantly engaged.
Chat shit all the time at work. Yeah. No,
whereas if you listen to a raw podcast, I don't know if you'd deal with me because like the amount of knows. What's the other one that I always come out with? Like I listen back and I'm like, fucking hell, do I say that much? Like you say, like I say that quite a lot as well, even though the other person hasn't said what I'm saying that you're saying that you've said. It's just some of the stuff I come out with, man. I don't know. I just don't notice that I'm doing it.
I just chat shit. I just honestly chat shit as it comes into my head, and then if it makes some vague sense, then great.
Yeah, some people are just good at it.
ビバリーヒルズワーフ
Like speculate, I have often thought the plot twist would be that Landy is Ryo's brother or something. That's a pretty crazy plot twist. I think Landy's... I don't know, I suppose you can't be too old to be someone's brother.
There's also
Then
talk
he'd
he's
have to be
related to
like
Shenmue,
half.
isn't there, as well? Like, there's all sorts of theories around who Landy
Yeah,
could be related to.
I think he's more likely to be related to Shenmue just because of like the Chinese heritage and the connections they've got.
True, Sheep. It does mean I don't have to edit too much. I chuck a few bits in here or there that I think are useful, that I can't that won't pull like straight away from like I sometimes because I record it in OBS normally, so I'd have a few things sort of ready to pull up instantly, but other bits like videos and things, it's just easier. I just dump them in as I talk.
Yeah, you've got that nailed down to a T. Like if you watch the Gamer's Journey documentary review that me and Matt have done, that's when you're going to be hearing a lot of like my quirks that I tend to edit out. If I had the hands on the audio, I'd half the amount of shit that I come up with. The years and all that sort of stuff.
I thought it was fine. There was,
すいません
Did you?
yeah,
I think that's it. I think it's just when you hear your own voice, you just pick up on a lot of that stuff, don't you? But when other people
今日は自分
listen, they don't care as much.
すいませんえビバリーやばいことちょっとした何かよして誰が聞いてるかわ
Yeah, we're expecting a strictly limited
そうですか
release of Air Twister, right? And
yes.
here's one I made earlier. I've actually got
すいませ
a
ん
strictly limited
ヘブンズの
collector's edition.
ええ
This is kind of like what you might expect to
そうもい
see.
かないじ
This is for a game called Last Labyrinth. And honestly, they're actually sick, to be honest, strictly limited. I did like see a couple of people like, I don't know, negatives towards strictly limited, which surprised me because I thought they were a bit more well respected than say like limited run games even. But the amount of stuff you get in here, I've got a scented candle. I've got a laser pointer, which is actually like pretty crazy. Just show off this little laser pointer.
欲しいな。リリースのタイミングが悪いんだよ。
Ah, very
I can
nice.
actually see. Yeah, but it doesn't just stop there, Matt. Button somewhere when I can find it. Does this work again? I'd literally just stumbled across it. Here we go. Oh, it might not be working because of the... I did this in my video. How did I do this, man? Oh, hang on, you've got red dot,
Oh, yeah.
blue dot. It might be this one. One of them's like a bit of a projector. And it's got all these different... God knows. But it was like coming up with like loads of like... what are those things called? Like demons where they do like symbols.
Oh, fuck.
What are they called?
I know what
He's
you mean.
doing like a load of like random things like that. Little keyring. Got, like this glass frame thing. Postcard. There's a humongous poster.
Bloody hell. Quite big.
Oh, pressing something here. Filter keys. There's a sticker sheet.
なかなかやるじゃないか。
There's an art book. Just quite good
Okay.
actually. It's got probably about 80 pages, 80-page art book.
少し横ぶれしたな。
There's a Blu-ray documentary, the making of
Wow.
Last Labyrinth,
得点クリアか。
and obviously the game, which
当
I've
然の
got
結
in
果
here.
だけどね。
Strictly limited the UK based one. I don't know. Are they UK
最後か。
based?
Yes, they are UK-based one.
Ah, that could be good.
But yeah, I just thought I think this might be the only strictly limited game release I've got.
なかなかやるじゃないか。
But I was well impressed with this.
おう、思ったよりやるね。次の5本で白黒つけようか。まあまあってとこかな。
So yeah, you'll expect to find something similar, I reckon, for Air Twister.
Should be some good shit.
Pretty good. Some good stuff in there. Art book.
Oh shit.
欲しいな。リリースのタイミングが悪いんだよ。
True says he's got quite a few. Quite well made and reasonably priced. Yeah, I did find that they were quite well priced. I almost bought the Puzzle Bobble one that they did. So I quite like Puzzle Bobble.
まあまあってとこ
See
か
a
な。
question again in chat. Hi guys, we get a Shenmue 4. Would you like to see them implement multiple endings into the game? Or do you think it would reduce the size of the game due to the budget and time? It would be a budgetary issue. I don't think they're going to have the funds to play with to do that, unfortunately. As much as it would be cool.
I mean, they kind of do with the bad ending, right?
Yeah.
They do one slightly different ending. Yeah, it is a magnetic box. Sheep.
まあまあってとこか
Sure
な。
they're UK based, aren't they? Retro? It's in pounds when you go on the website.
Fuck's sake.
Me anyway. About us, let's see.
ここはダーツをやるにはうるさすぎるよな。
If it does. Contact us.
Germany.
GMT plus 2. Where would that be?
ああ、
Germany. There you go.
スタンスが
Germany
広
then.
すぎるんだよな。少し横ブレしたな。 得点クリアか。ま、当然の
Got a
結
new
果だけど
Richard
ね。
Payne video coming out soon.
Yes, we do as well.
最後の一本
Sounds.
Fuck off.
I haven't actually seen it yet, but it sounds good.
スタンスが広すぎるんだよな。
So busy.
Keeps us busy.
思ったよりやるね。
Have you actually beat
次の
these
5
Dark
本で
players?
白黒
I've beaten
つけ
him
よう
Film that
か。
like
But I don't do it very often, I must admit. And now he's got a fucking
Yeah,
fist.
just on the first bet, or have you ever beat them like on multiple bets? They, like,
Only
go
first bet.
crazy and
Yeah, they go fucking mad. They get like stupid scores. Like what?
Is there an end? Has anyone ever done them all and like say, okay, you've defeated
リ
me,
リースのタイミングが悪いんだよ。
or do they just keep going?
I don't know, you know. It's a good question. I don't know the answer to.
外し
I
た
don't know the
か。
answer to that. But did you know? If anyone's got the balls to try it, the dart skills, you'd have to get like 600 round games, I think, to beat
Yeah.
some of the later things.
Some of them are really like fucking evilly hard, aren't they? Not just hard. They're
Dame,
fucking
dame.
horrible.
バランスが悪すぎるよ。
I've blown this.
Oh, true. Arm wrestling as well.
まあまあってとこかな。
Oh,
Is there an
God.
end? You can get a rapid button controller thing that helps for that sort of stuff.
I'm
There
beyond.
might be an end. Do I feel like I've seen an end?
なかなかのスローイングだな。
I feel like I might have seen an end, you know, to an arm wrestling thing, but not an end as in like you can never bet with them again. It just stops
What,
and then
like-
it goes
まあ
back
まあ
to
って
like
とこかな。
low bet.
It just repeats itself.
Yeah, didn't Peter do it once?
Possibly.
I'm sure he,
'cause
like, did a-
He was quite good at that sort of thing.
I feel like he was doing some sort of an emulated rapid button press, or someone
な
was.
かなかのスローイングだな。
Good question there.
Salvage this darts game to be a bit more
まあまあってと
respectable.
こかな。
Good scores to be fair, Matt.
I see
Anything
it.
over
終わり
300.
か。
最後か。
Is this pretty mad though?
狙いはいいけどな。
Twitch is like so far behind for some reason.
グリ
My
ッ
end
プが甘い
anyway.
んだよ。
YouTube, yeah.
Don't know why that is. Restream could be on one in fairness.
Refresh.
どうやら
待ってください。
いや
え
8番
8番。
奴らは
勝負に
優の木。
ありがとうござい
Right, there we go.
That's it.
Is it better now?
That's it now. Has anyone been watching Retro Mule's Dreamcast videos on YouTube? Someone did mention one of his the other day, I think. I saw. I didn't end up watching it though.
There's a Shenmue 3 review in our Discord. I haven't had a chance to sit down and watch that yet.
Retro Mule, was it?
No, somebody else did that one.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, today. Retro Mule. Maybe it was you, Scribe. Did you recommend a video?
8番
It
倉
was
庫。
about
ここだな。7時まで待ってみるか。
Fantasy Star, was it? Oh, that was what it was. Yeah, basically reviews every Dreamcast game in Japanese release order. Yeah, it was you, wasn't it? Yeah, I didn't get around to watching that.
Right, let's kick these.
I still haven't watched that 4-hour documentary you keep going on about, Matt, the Virtual Cop one. I
Oh
want to watch
man,
that.
that is fucking brilliant. Pandemodium made that. Bloody brilliant.
Haven't got around to it.
I mean, it's a 4-hour documentary, so you, like, I had to watch it in bits, but
Yep.
thank you, Rock Howard 200 for the follow and welcome in.
Yeah. It's been busy, guys.
It's been fuck today.
usual.
Has been absolute insanity. But I can't even begin to describe how busy it's been today. With work on top of that as well.
I'll have to subscribe to him, I think. By the sounds of it.
I
Sounds
have.
good.
I watched his. I watched his one on Bug as well. That's quite good.
I always fancy playing on the Sega Saturn, but then I never do.
I sometimes get the itch to like play Sega Rally, and then I'd like play that for a
What it
couple
is,
of
Matt?
hours.
Got this sort of like weird. Like I want to play retro, and I probably should just play retro. But I get this sort of a guilt that I'm like I should be playing newer games.
I've got
I don't know if anyone else gets that sort of thing.
games in my fucking backlog, and I'm like, oh, I need to play those first. That's part of the issue I have, I think. So I get where you're coming from.
Yeah, it's that sort of a guilt. But then I don't play any.
Sit there deciding for like the evening.
Procrastinate.
I'm not skipping.
That's
this
part of the reason why I bought that little handheld thing, man. Just thinking like I might actually play some retro games again. I could just take it to bed and just. I was literally playing Rocket Knight last night in bed. I was telling Scribe early because I was trying to get to the point where Scribe nudged the cartridge and it fucked up on us. It's EGX cheap.
I love that retro graph. I think you got the idea for zooming on Virtual Cop from a serial advert. It's bloody brilliant.
That's all it takes. There was an interview he was saying about how he gets these ideas and these dreams, right? And he just writes them down.
Writes them down
When he wakes
and
up.
then implements.
Yep.
Madness.
He came up with I think I was doing that on that, like, the last Law stream. I think that was in that sort of thing where he came up with how to design Shundi, like the drunken thing, but make him, like, balanced with all the other characters. He came up with, like, whatever concept he came up with in his sleep.
Madness, isn't it?
もらっていいのか。
俺はもう顔パスだから大丈夫さ。
Bruce Wayne, welcome
こ
in,
の
man.
船はいつでも使っていいよ。エブンズのみんなも知らないから安心して寝られるよ。
あ ありがとう。助かる。
Just can't win. He's a mad genius.
He's a bit. He's been busy. I'll be
When
very.
you watch him doing the behind the scenes stuff, Matt, that we spoke about a little bit, and that that 10-minute chunk of the
Oh, in the dock, yeah.
in the documentary
Bloody
Blu-ray,
brilliant.
you just seen him be his old self kind of a thing. Or what I remember watching him when he was in that premiere video, going around all the different developers, and when he's smoking there and he's getting pissed off and stuff. A little bit of that fire in him when he was working on Shenmue 3.
It's good though, because he, as I say, and I keep saying to people, you don't have to like Shenmue 3, but to call people lazy who made it is a disservice. They were not lazy. They worked their
Yeah.
asses off to get that game out the door.
Yeah, definitely, man. It's nice to see that behind the scenes footage. 'Cause it just reassures you that you're in good hands still, as well.
Yeah, definitely.
For some reason, I always hated this segment of Shenmue 2. This is your sort of Yakuza random battle fight stuff in it.
It is a little bit.
Just annoyed me, especially because it goes first person for most of
Yeah,
it.
that's annoying. The first person annoys me more. The fighting's fine, but yeah, the first person's the problem with it, for me.
I also didn't like the music. I can't hear it, but I can hear it, if you know what I mean. It's like one of those images I can hear.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Ooh, he's dead.
Ah, nice. Smashed his face against the wall.
Oh, that definitely fucked him up.
I think they were all sleeping in the office, weren't they, when you go back and
Yeah, it was quite common
Read
practice
about
in the
stuff.
90s.
like Yu Suzuki especially, but
I read a tweet from
Good point.
somebody who worked on the Jungle Strike series, or the Strike series rather, and he put a photo up of them sleeping in the office. They had like beds under their desk,
yeah. Why not, eh?
てめえ
which is absolute insanity.
お前らに用はない
But yeah, now you mention that, Stuart, it does kind of feel like the old
レン
date
は
of
どこにいる
Aberdeen.
何
金はあんのかどこ
Like
へ
they
行け
just
ば会え
left
るん
in a lot
だ
of the stuff that perhaps they
会い
created.
たきゃ寄付金を500ドル持ってきな
I don't know how
500ドルだと
easy he had time to see his family
レンさん
working
は
on
寄
games.
付したやつとしか会わねえんだよ500ドルなら持っている
Definitely get to Kowloon. Hoping I can get. Do you reckon I can get to the Wiretapper
よ
stuff?
こしな
What, how long are you going for?
Got about
直
another hour.
接レンに渡す
まいいだろう
Yeah, so once you get to Kowloon, it
ついてきな
tends to go quite quick, doesn't it? Like
サ
the
ム
chunks up to
ラ
the
イ
scout,
行くぞ
you can do quite rapid.
Hey Sean, how you doing,
Welcome
well,
in,
man?
Sean.
Oh dear.
Yeah. Like another cool aspect of Shenmue in it, like these big major characters, like you just say just in time for Ren. It's like halfway through Shenmue 2 and it's the first time you meet him Ren.
Yeah. Now you see a
So
lot
you're
of
actually
him.
only known for like half the
王
game,
様に
but
寄付してくれるっての
And
は
you see
Oh my
screenshots
God.
of him,
Iconic,
don't
isn't
you, early on, like some of the
条件がある。
preview stuff. There's
修験
screenshots
達
of
の居
him.
所を知りたい
Mhm.
簡単だ
There's a lot of screenshots
No, no,
shots of
no.
Shenmue 2.
yeah, you've got like these major characters in Shenmue, but they're all dotted throughout.
神
So-
のご加護
You know, you've got your Ren, your Shenhua, and the Aosung didn't appear till halfway through Shenmue 3.
ほら分かった
Well, even later than that, essentially.
this.
I wonder if there's going to be any more major characters beyond that.
I reckon Zimming will be a major character.
Yeah, that's true. Assuming.
You'd think, judging from what we sort of know already. But again, it's also dependent on what they've changed in that time as well.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's one thing we don't know, is how much they've changed or moved. Or I know we're going to do a podcast on it. We may give some ideas away.
Stu says what's interesting is in the Game Jam beta, Rio doesn't automatically hand over the $500. If he has it, you have to speak to Cool Z first.
All sorts of like little,
I can see why they did it.
little changes,
'cause-
isn't there?
Yeah, it's one of those things like perhaps there'd be some player that's got the money and they're running around and they don't know what to do. So like they automate it. But isn't there a thing... I think if you've got too much money, you can't do the Dallin rolling upcut. Am I getting that right? If you've got
I think so.
if you've got more than 500, it automatically hands over the money.
Yeah, it does. It does here. So
Yeah.
I had automatically 500, so I went straight into it. Whereas if you don't,
Yeah.
you go see Dallin, you do a box shift with him, and then you can do the brawling uppercut.
Yeah.
But I'm sort of trying to speed through this a little bit.
Sheephead says Ming Ming.
She was in the Kickstarter
Yeah,
video and
big
sort of
character,
touted, wasn't it? Wasn't she? So
Potentially. Could be a big character, I don't know. And then if we ever get to Tentai, I suppose he's going to be a big character.
Tentai is Yuandazu.
Do you think we'll ever see Yuanda Zoo again? I mean,
I-
chapter tile wise, it looks like it, but
I wouldn't rule it out. And Yu Suzuki himself has said that Zoo is not to be trusted. So
and Zhang showed up in that
3,
story DLC, which would be a bit random if you'd never saw Yuanda Zoo again.
keeping tabs on Rio.
Yep.
Right, I liked how this scene.
That's kind of like. Sorry, man. I was just going to say that's kind of like the exciting stuff about the future of the series. You know that you're going to get these characters from the previous games coming back, returning characters. Like Ren was like a big moment in Shenmue 3. But imagine when you see Shuing again.
Yeah, that
It's going to be a massive
they
moment in
need
it.
that moment needs to be like massive, big like introduction that she's back. Whether she saves him or whatever. She needs a really big introduction because I don't think Ren coming back in 3 we knew it was going to probably happen anyway. I don't think the introduction was held quite as well as we'd have liked.
俺はただ主元たちに
Agreed.
白を切るのも
Went for the comedic effect rather than like.
やっておしまい
See, Abdullah's
Well, and then it wasn't just that. It was like Rio's sort of non-reaction to it as well. Just nonchalant, like he expected him to be there.
So Abdullah's made an interesting point that Yu Suzuki should be honest with the fan base if there's no hope for Shenmue. If there's always hope for Shenmue, I don't think we hear much. It's when there is no hope, as per Michael Huber in
Yeah,
the
good
documentary,
point.
then I think we'll know.
Yeah. So what you're saying there is because he hasn't ruled it out,
Because
he's got no reason to tell you that it's dead because it isn't. If you know what I mean.
yeah.
I suppose that's the thing with like the people that do. I've seen that sort of a comment or a similar version of that comment quite a bit. Like people are like, Yu Suzuki just needs to say like what's going on kind of thing, but he can't,
No.
can he?
'Cause
In
he-
a sense,
he
because
still
if he
wants to
if he
make the
says
game.
if he tells you what's going on, then he's announcing the game. If he tells you nothing's going on, then I don't know, you're going to be gutted, aren't you?
Problem, I think, well, might have been a problem.
You can't go back on that.
Was the anime, because the anime was due to go into Shenmue 4. We know that. And there could have been a possibility that the anime got released before the game.
She probably would have done, right?
I could certainly have seen it happening. Can you go straight to Lucky Plaza, or am I going mad?
Ren does, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if I can or not. I don't want to risk it and have to re-fucking do
The
it.
best one's going after Cool Z.
Yeah, because the cutscene's quite funny.
Yeah. So Scribe says, would you guys accept the story to be finished in manga comic form? Dramatically cheaper to produce. I don't know. I wouldn't like it, to be honest.
If there's no hope...
It depends what the... Yeah, that's what I was going to say. It depends how dead the series is.
If it's dead as in fucked, then yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Hey, Goob de Goob.
主玄達はどこにいる
Welcome in, we're good.
Yo. Welcome in.
かかってきな俺に勝てたら教えてやる
Don't often go. Is this Sam or Larry? Don't often chase this dude.
It's Larry, isn't it?
That's me, man. Could have been one of the cutscenes you could have recorded, Matt, so you'd have to do this again in the future.
I need to get back into doing the Shenmue 3 ones, actually. I get distracted by other shit.
It's just too much to do, mate.
Oh, he's dead, good.
Juggling all this stuff all the time, aren't we?
It's mad, isn't it? And when news breaks, it then takes over your fucking life.
主玄達はどこにいる俺はそいつのことは知らねえレンさんに聞けきっとラッキープラザにいるはずだラッキープラザ工事中のビルさクイーンズストリートの雑貨屋の脇の路地を減りな
From Renners, I think 2024 we will hear an announcement. Shenmue 4 for 2025 release. Yeah, I suppose the anime would have been that alternative, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Like Stu said. TGS attendees were announced this morning too.
Oh yeah, I did see Sega sort of going in the Sega partly there, Sega Atlas is there, Sony are there, but the indie section.
Okay.
I don't think we'll get anything at TGS.
The only thing is with Sega, and we just mentioned this last night, didn't we, Matt, that Sega published
また逃げる気じゃ
Shenmue 3 in Japan.
おい
So at a Japanese event, Sega potentially could, in theory, have a Shenmue 4 announcement there,
Yeah.
kind of a thing.
They could. I mean, I don't know. I'd be very surprised. It's that minimal 1% thing, isn't it? Again.
Yeah. I quite like TGS actually.
I do. They announce some good stuff there normally. It's just shit. It's shit time of the fucking day, isn't it? 'Cause it's overnight for us.
Yeah, true. When is it?
I want to say September, October.
Yeah.
It's before EGX over here. Not they announce anything big at EGX, in fairness, but
No, they don't, I don't think. Can you talk to Larry while walking?
yes, you can.
おいラッキープラザああえ俺はレンさん以外に負けたプライドがズタボロだぜ
It's just crazy, all the amount of voice lines and stuff. I bet if you talk to him again, he'll say something different, right?
Yeah, he will.
Hopefully they've got it again, man. Might have to smuggle in the cart. That's the thing, Go Sega Gaga. Like I say, there's definitely more chance of something happening as we speak than, you know, Dark Era.
Oh yeah, massively. The Dark Era was the hard bit, was getting Shenmue reignited. That's happened.
Yeah. We just...
It's whether they...
I don't even know what sort of word you could use to describe where we're at the moment. We're just sort of plateaued a little bit, perhaps.
Yeah, it's then sort of getting the momentum back, I think.
For your information, I did post an hour video today. 4K scenery video like the Christmas one I made last year, but a summer edition.
Pop it in the chat.
Lovely.
Definitely pop that one in the chat. I'd
like to see Rio as a secret character. I did expect to see some sort of a Shenmue reference, to be honest, because they can do what they want, really. It's their own game, innit? I would have expected to see like a costume or something at least.
Might have to get permission to use it though from Sega, and if they haven't got much money.
You reckon?
Yeah, Sega.
Even now?
Sega would want the money.
You couldn't just like have a costume accessory for, you know, Princess Arch or whatever with like a little plaster face, just as like a little Easter egg reference.
That'd be cool.
That can't be bloody trademarked, can it? Plaster. Band-Aid.
Funny. Something's going on behind the scenes. Why is it probably focusing on Air Twister for now? But I think they've started something on Shenmue for sure. Could well be.
I think they're slowly chipping away at it.
I think
again, I think if you support Air Twister, that money's got to go somewhere, innit?
Well, yeah, it's got to go to WiseNet and make it. All that helps. I'm not saying it would, but if Air Twister sold a couple of million copies, it's quite a lot of money.
Yeah. There's actually a quite nice buzz about Air Twister, I feel like.
I do.
From what I've seen. And the amount of platforms it's coming to, it's not like it's an exclusive to Apple Arcade like it was, where, you know, it seemed like it was difficult for people to actually play it and get interested or excited about it, but now it's like PC, Steam, Xbox, PS4, PS5, Switch, it's everywhere in it, so it's so much more accessible for everyone. It's kind of what Shenmue needs, in a sense. Shenmue's been a bit too exclusive over the years, and it's kind of harmed it rather than helped it, I feel like.
It's how they bridge that gap for 3 for people who have an Xbox. That's the question, because the rest of it you can do pretty easily, but with sales and all the rest, sales for everybody, buy all games for a tenner, catch up, then play Shenmue 4. What do we think Air Twist will cost? It, I think, translates to about £23 on the base edition from Japanese yen. So I'd expect it around 20-25 based upon that.
Yeah. Didn't I work out earlier the collector's edition, and this includes shipping and potentially taxis, came to £65, I think.
Which is pretty good, considering
that's not too bad, all in imported from Japan for the collector's edition. Which looks like it's got artwork and a hand-signed Suzuki signature, possibly. It's worth that amount on its own, in my opinion.
Thank you, Bad Boy, as well, complimenting our man caves.
それよりどこへ行くのか知らないけど 気をつけ
You
てね
want to see all the shit
お
that's
兄ちゃん
behind the chair. That
Ah,
chair in the background
thanks,
and the Shenmue box is covering loads of shit.
I've got
Just
a
to make it
cupboard,
look nicer
built-in
than it
cupboard
is.
full of shit as well. I can't put out.
It's the beauty of this, like, camera angle, I suppose. You can hide stuff off camera.
A Shenmue 4 announcement though, just like as we're on that sort of subject. For me, I don't want them to announce it unless it's like ready, like 6 months away or something, because we know what the media will fucking do. But it's hard because obviously the community are chomping at the bit. We want news. We want news. But if they can chip away at the basis of a 4, then as Sheep's saying, there's less money that a publisher will need to put in. If Air Twister is successful or makes a load of money, Wisenet will have more money to put up front, which is only going to help the cause with a publisher.
そう
Did we say before, like, can they self-publish if they wanted to?
I mean, they can do with anything, I guess. It's whether they've got the facility to self-publish.
Indo
I mean, I don't know what discussions were had behind the scenes with Air Twister, but they may have spoken to a couple of publishers about getting that through and then went with in games. Because it is easier if you can get someone to publish it, but the downside of that is you don't get 100% of the money back. Because obviously you have to split it with the publisher, and I think they take about 30% or something like that.
Shenmue 3 must have had so many different
大さばきはそ
cuts
れでいいの
between
次は
everyone.
一歩下がるのと同時に
I don't know how they
腕と
work
足
that
に
out.
力を込めるのよ
Sega take a cut, Shibuya, I don't know if Sony did, obviously Deep Silver,
どうやら型はできたようねでも外門長中は相手の
that's a
懐に
lot
飛
of
び込んで
people
くるとし
to sort of split the pie with. So if they could self-publish it or only have one person involved, or then they might have, yeah, it makes it a bit more viable, doesn't it?
できたようね今の動きを忘れないで
はい
They just need to show Shenmue 4 when it's ready. I know we're keen and eager, and I get that, but they need that announcement needs to absolutely smash it. Because if it doesn't, you're on this back foot the entire way through. Whereas if you smash that trailer
憲法は人を
early
生かすために
and set the standard that you are going to be showing,
行きなさい
it makes it harder for the media to go after it. They'll try and go for the low-hanging fruit bollocks. Is it finishing the series? Oh, doesn't Shenmue, man, boring forklift simulator bullshit. You know they will. You know they will. The low-hanging fruit.
Someone will say, like, the biggest surprise was that there wasn't a forklift in the trailer or something like that.
Quite right, yeah. The Kickstarter reaction to Shenmue did show it. Like, once they got over the initial shock of it and their clickbait for rumours around Shenmue 3 being removed, they then started going after it a little bit in terms of the forklift simulator bollocks or this, that and the other. Then the 2017 trailer, as I said, now that was a mistake. I don't think they should have shown that the way it was. I get why.
Should have shown that to backers only.
Yeah, like... Yeah, it probably would have come out anyway because some fucker would have leaked it.
True.
But if it's not a public trailer, it's a backer-only trailer. It's not quite the same as going, yes, you know, this is because people go, oh, it's going to look shit a year from release. You know, it's and these are experienced people in the industry saying this.
Knackered tonight, man.
I'm fucked.
Pretty good plan to just release smaller games like Air Twister every few years, and they can use the money to make Shenmue 4, Shenmue 5 themselves. Wonder what kind of game they'd work on next. New arcade racer from Yu Suzuki would be sick. That would be sick, actually.
Hey, Strictly Say Europe, man. You good?
did reel off like a lot of things that he wants to do, right? One of them was like a racer,
He talked about a
One was like a-
Space Harrier thing years ago, didn't he?
space area. One of them, yeah.
If Shenmue 4 does surface, we need to do the marketing. A joke. I don't think I can.
RPG fantasy game, did he? Yeah, see that? Like a Sword of Vermilion type game. Ochman, strictly Sega Europe. No worries at all.
Do we think Inning could potentially publish Shenmue 4, especially with the big money they're about to make from Air Twist? Well, all
That's
joking
funny.
aside, if it does do really well for them, they might want to take a risk on a bigger project. I don't know, but if they do well, they're going to be keen to support other WiseNet projects. Might not be Shenmue, but it could be something else.
Yeah, and they're going to build a bit of a relationship, aren't they, with this Air Twister partnership?
Yeah, hopefully so, and it's
Yeah.
hopefully a positive relationship.
They do seem like
They seem alright. Like,
not that. Yeah, I was going to say not that I know them, but you know, like your Deep Silver, whatever, they're just coming in and demanding, aren't they? Get this done, get this wrapped up. We need to make money, money, money. Whereas, like, I feel like these sort of smaller people, like this Inin, would potentially be more respectful,
they just
like-
I mean, they
less demanding.
we spoke to them briefly because the press kit link was broken on the site,
ここが
and they were really good
案件
about
の
it,
ヤン
weren't
の
they?
願
Like,
望
oh
や
yeah,
では
they
この
sent
中
it
だ
us almost straight
さっさと
away,
行こうぜ。
which was really good.
Yep.
Do you know what, Abdullah? I do
Obviously,
think,
it is a business at the end of the day, and it's a
yeah, it is.
ここの2階にヤン行くぜ。
Abdullah, I do think Air Twister on Switch, if it's ported well and all the rest of it, it could go well on Switch. I do think it's that sort of crowd, that sort of game.
yeah. I think that personal sort of touch
案
sort
件
of
観
shows
光
them in maybe like a fairer light. It's like they're in this for the games. They're in this for the passion and the hobby and the
It's like
more so than the money. It's a hard thing to say, like, because it is a business. They are in it for the money, but they're a bit more open to, like, you know, they want to wish things. While I would imagine, whereas like Deep Silver probably just looking at the finances, like, here's where we could target extra revenue here and there and this sort of stuff. Whereas like these sort of smaller companies are probably just elated to be working with someone like you, Suzuki.
They obviously want to make money, like, without a doubt, but I know it's different. It's a different mindset, isn't it?
Hmm.
I'm just going to show off. Some people don't see this, but I'm going to, if it will let me do it. There's a little scene here that's often missed.
This was new to me, you know,
これは
till a few years ago. You don't see that button, really, do you?
Joey.
Yeah, I've played
Prompt.
Shenmue 2 a bit
この
quick
近くにいる
because
の
I'm
か？
trying to smash through it. Because I reckon I get to sort of the wiretapper stuff. And then if I can do...
You'll have it finished by September at
I
this rate.
doubt it. Because I've got
You
to do...
are smashing it there, man. You were like, will you get to the wiretapper stuff? And I was thinking, like, and this was only about 10 o'clock when you were still
有
in
機楼
Hong Kong.
ここか。よし、ここで黒い服の男を探そう。
If I can get Kowloon wrapped up in the next stream, it might have to be a slightly longer stream to do it.
Guilin, would Guilin be a full stream, yeah?
It'd have to be, I think, yeah.
あの、
Okay. So what's that? That's August, September.
So I'd be into
Then you've got
October.
October, November, December. You've got 3 months for Shenmue 3.
Yeah. Which is doable on a new
竜
game
は眠ら
plus.
ない。
お前がこの先の
あの、
質問にはいい
わかっ
6
た。
hours if you were doing 2-hour streams. Or would you? 3, 6, 9 hours? Probably be as much as you'd want to do, right? 3-hour
Yeah,
streams.
yeah, it'd be tight, but if we have a Christmas stream as well, I've potentially got 4 streams to do it in,
True. Sneaky little extra streams.
and I
I know.
think I could do it in that.
Shenmue 3's anniversary sneaky extra
竜は
stream.
眠らない。
Yes.
November the 19th, whatever.
話は聞いてる
4 years this November.
この回聞きたいこと質問
Yeah, it is
わかった
4 years.
そうだ
Crazy, isn't it?
And
And
Shenmue
Shenmue
4
4 in January, yeah, you could just carry straight over.
We were talking about that a
That would
while
be
ago,
amazing,
weren't
wouldn't
we,
it?
on
I know.
stream? Like how we'd handle
Nando.
something like that. It's like, would we want to play it on stream or like record it? I don't know.
It's difficult. It's difficult. Because we've never had that sort of responsibility
お
before,
前
have
が
we?
例のやつ
No.
この先の階段で質問
Like
はいい
even Peter did, right? He did it
He
as
did
his
a-
own playthrough and then a separate one
Yeah.
on YouTube. And that still worked okay, to be honest, because in a sense, people are going to be playing the game themselves, aren't they? So why would they tune in to watch us spoil it for them?
I guess it's our reaction to certain things, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it. So maybe you probably wouldn't stream it, you'd just record yourself playing it
It's hard though, because like,
and then upload that later.
you've got to be almost like in performance mode for it.
Tuned in all the time, yeah.
And like I might want to just fuck around and like look at random shit. If you know what
Pick
I
your
mean.
nose, scratch yourself.
おいお前ちょっと待て許可がないやつは通せねえんだ戻りな
But yeah, like, I'd want to. I know, like in Shenmue 4, I'd want to spend time exploring the scenery, exploring the town or wherever you're in. And I don't. Yeah.
Let off a thought.
Yeah.
竜は眠らないお前がこの先に竜のと
There we go.
General life things that you've got to.
I
You'd have
would.
to be worried about all that
I
sort
would
of
take
stuff.
time off work for it though. I will say that.
Yeah.
あなたが修験達さんですか
They fell through and they are having to lay out a bunch of people. Lay off a bunch of people.
Yeah.
Said they need to exploit the Lord of the Rings franchise to make more money. That's the kind of. I didn't know that until you said that, sheet, but that's the kind of like figurative speech that I was talking about before. It's, I
They're in
feel
it
like
for
you,
money and
those-
profit
exactly. It's you don't care how good the product is. You know,
And there's nothing wrong with that. Like that's what they're there to make money. There's nothing wrong with it.
向こうだ合わせて飛べおーうわったく同時にやがってもたもたしてっとや
Hopefully he's
つら
not
に追い
watching
つかれる
Scribe.
わ
Yeah,
Why would you
Yeah.
discourage
That
somebody
much.
from playing a game you are
can't
publishing?
we?
次は左だ
But like I said,
向こうだ
Deep Silver don't give a
次は
shit.
右だ
They were there to make money, and they, I think, realised it wasn't going to make them as much money as they thought,
よっ
and
しゃ行くぞ
went
Yeah.
fuck it.
They saw the opportunity with the Kickstarter and the records and that sort of stuff. I think
奴ら上だやべえ来やがった
got the numbers all wrong.
おいあの部屋だ
So, oh yeah, fuck it. I think,
おい
with
俺
the best
様の言う
respect
通
in
り
the
に
world
走るんだ
to Deep
こっ
Silver,
ちだ
they obviously made the game better in terms of the investment they put in, but I think it's best for everybody they sort of moved away from
よ
it.
っしゃ行くぞ
Because you want a publisher who's invested in it, who wants Shenmue to do well,
行くぞ
that isn't just seeing it as a quick cash cow, which a lot of people did after the Kickstarter, in my
俺様に
opinion.
譲れ
Yeah, yeah.
そうそう
You can't tell me that Sega were going to be really full on into Shenmue before that Kickstarter.
よし
No
向こう
chance.
だ
They saw this.
Even
They,
even Epic, mate.
yeah.
閉まってる
As much as we talked about like that deal wasn't a bad thing for the series really, apart from the negative press, but
せーの
even Epic probably thought there's an opportunity here to
よっしゃ行くぞ
money making.
I just. Yeah. Fucking. I
It's a
can't.
difficult one.
I can't.
Like Yu Suzuki probably wants to make money, but then this is his like life work, isn't it? This is like his passion project, Shenmue. So he probably would make it a loss on Shenmue to get it complete.
甘いわねおりゃ
Fucking. I still can't believe that fucking you'd sabotage your own fucking game because you don't like it. Be professional. Don't be a dick. Anyway.
So this is a quote. I mean, we own the Lord of the Rings, and we know we need to be exploiting Lord of the Rings in a very significant fashion and turning that into one of the biggest gaming franchises in the world. That's obviously something we're going to be doing. And so that's a much better use of our resources than some of the other projects that some of our teams have been working on. So working together, we have those opportunities, and we're super excited to see that put to work relatively quickly.
Yeah, they're just diving in to make money, aren't they?
Yeah. And when you read stuff like that as well, like that sort of a tone, it just highlights the people that were working at Sega. You know, the Tom Kalinske emails or whatever that were like positive, completely positive all the time, weren't they? Well, the ones that I read, it was like, you know, the Saturn. He's seen the Saturn with his own eyes in Japan, and it's
Tom
this rip-roaring success and stuff. And it's like we need to make.
Was not a fan of the Saturn. He's been quite open about that, but he still remained professional and positive and trying to do the best by it. Don't be a twat. Do your job. And if you really got a problem with it, as Scribe says, then like transfer. You know, because we'd have done that shit
with me
fucking
first,
free.
kind of. You got a problem with it, mate?
I do shit at work that I don't like. I may protest about it privately in work, but professionally, publicly, I don't. I just get on with it.
Yeah.
But there we go. We are definitely going to get to the wiretapper stuff here. Probably a little bit beyond it.
So fun.
Oi.
Do you think AI has potential with Shenmue Online?
Potentially to help, like maybe make scenes or voice some characters, like not necessarily the main characters, but maybe some of the sort of C-list characters or the NPCs that don't matter. The next Kickstarter should be straight up buy the franchise rights. I think Sega might have a problem with that, but I wouldn't be against it. I'd chuck in a tenner.
Yeah. That AI thing, it also depends what Yu Suzuki meant in that end of year thing where he mentioned about wanting to work with AI more. Have you meant it in that respect or something else?
It's just, yeah, I do things at work that I don't like, and yeah, and I'd get in the shit if I didn't do it. But there we go. I've got a week's leave next week, so I don't give a shit.
Good one.
Cheers, Stuart. Take it easy, man.
Thanks for coming, buddy.
No,
Thanks for the help earlier as well. Much appreciated that was. We got that out very, very swiftly.
fucking
From like you announcing
rapid.
that your record arrived to like having it all out transcribed in about half an hour. That was really cool.
Fucking news breaking.
Let me see if I can find the article actually on the AI thing.
Oh,
Did we report on that, Matt?
It was the end of year thing. I think I did a video on it.
I think you did do a news post, did you?
I would have done.
On the main site or just a video?
I think I would have done somewhere.
Let me see if I can find the main site post of that. So, Isuki end of year. Let's see what pops up for that.
I'm sure I did, you know. Sure I did.
What would it? Yeah, Light AI. I've got one here. So your keyword for 2023, light AI. I'd like to try taking a light-hearted approach to AI without pretentious logical thinking. The answers that an imperfect AI, including bugs, can come up with should be fun. I'm setting out a journey to seek new ideas using AI. What will you be keeping an eye on in 2023? Yu Suzuki says, I have high hopes for the evolution of AI technology and the emergence of entertainment with visual images that transcend the human imagination, as well as for initiatives to find original value in digital data. Yu Suzuki has previously stated an interest in AI technology, with a most recent reference made to IGN Japan at the premiere of the movie Free Guy, which focuses in on the life of a gaming NPC.
There we go.
カセットテープが捨ててあるな。
And that was like the end of last year.
このテープの中
Potentially
に
before
主元たち
all
の
this
情報があるか
chatbot
もしれない。
AI stuff came out, right? Was
Yeah,
that
it was, because that stuff hadn't really got big at that point. It was around, but it wasn't particularly big. It wasn't in the news.
yeah?
Right, I'm going to fast forward the tape because I want to get through as much as I can.
And I think you did do a video on that, by the way.
I probably did.
If you want to try and find the video as well, might even be linked in that article. I don't know.
What's the tape number when you get this far?
Couldn't tell you, mate, off the top of my head. Is it like the 500s or the 600s or something?
I can't fucking remember.
Stu would know if he was in here.
Yeah, he left at the wrong time.
I've got 500 in my head. 500 something. Like 565 or something.
Yeah, it's not quite there.
There is some secrets at Asmo in some of the Kowloon buildings. There's like, is it an SG 1000 console somewhere, Matt? One of the rooms.
I don't know actually. I can't remember. I think so. A bit further on.
Would
Three-
use AI for the voice acting, to be honest, at least for the NPCs, would bring the cost down a shitload. It depends how, like, I know people would probably say that's Shenmue voice acting anyway, but like how stiff they came out.
Ah, here we are. 3-word review of AEW Fight Forever. Fun, clunky, and retro.
Okay.
I'd also add, just as a
I don't think I've seen any gameplay of that.
I'd also add as a side point that it probably needed another year in terms of the features that it's got. But it's still a fun game. Reminds me of WrestleMania 2000 and what that was like on the N64, and then what No Mercy ended up being, which is essentially the same mechanics, but the whole game was expanded massively. That's where I think it is. It's WrestleMania 2000, but if they did another one and expanded it, all the match types, etc., I think it could be an absolute barnstormer.
Is this a yearly series?
I don't know. They released it this year, last week. I don't know if it's like going to be a yearly thing or not. I think it went massively over budget actually as well, and they just chucked it out in the end. But that was THQ who published that.
Yeah, Rhino. Welcome,
Hey,
man.
Rhino.
ちょっといいですか
See you again.
じゃあでは
ところで
ユアンって
I'd love to
So
get
it's
that
got-
cassette player.
音
Retro
ありがとうございます
Ryosuke. I know Blue Moo's got
こ
one.
の辺で
Has it?
Occasionally I do try and find the model.
すいません
See if I can find it. I've never seen any pop up.
ありがとうござい
Yeah, Blue Moo's got the exact one. He did a video on it actually. Let me see if I can find it. He was actually using. I think he may have recorded, which is an amazing idea. I think he may have recorded all of the audio from the cassette onto a cassette
Oh, and then played it. That's quite cool.
and played it.
I like that idea. That's pretty good fun. Hey, Cornitos. Welcome in. We are still looking for Landy, the bastard. Did you guys do the one lucky hit stand that has that move? Yes, I have done it. I've done it on stream once. I think it was last year sometime, there is video evidence of me actually legitimately getting that scroll.
Yeah.
I remember
Yeah,
Peter
there you go,
trying to do
guys.
it
Just
once,
linked the video.
and he couldn't get it. It took
Peter
him
took ages on it, didn't he?
fucking ages.
He was doing it off camera, wasn't he?
Yeah,
Trying to get it.
And it didn't take me that long, about 20 minutes on stream.
He must have been trying on a windy day.
Or a rainy day or whatever, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
金の音
金の
孤児院
そう
孤児院か
A neck ache.
Oh, hang on.
あの
Orphanage is what I wanted.
孤児院ってどこかな
So you don't get
こ
the
この
knife
あ
option,
そ
do
こ
you?
のエレベ
わかった
No, I mean, I've gone straight for the normal route, the normal route in inverted commas, because I think it's the quickest route. How did you like Shenmue 3? I like Shenmue 3 overall. There are some issues with it. Actually, even better might be our Keep or Bin show that James and I did. If you want to really listen to our thoughts on Shenmue 3.
Our what show?
The Keep or Bin, the Room 101.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the Room 101. That is a
こ
good
こが
show.
孤児院らしいな
Try and find
ちょっ
that
と
for
いいかな
you.
We talk about what we keep from
Yuan
Shenmue 3, what we've been from Shenmue 3, and some
Kesho.
improvements, etc. as
わかった
well.
Yeah, some good discussion as well.
知らない人は入っちゃダメだよ
おそうか
If you,
And Titch, I don't know if she's in chat tonight, but Titch also
Oniichan.
joined us.
聞きたいこと
何、
Yeah.
ユアンって人
if you're
Yuan?
genuinely
化粧
curious.
して
その人
本当かいこうきくん
中で白いし
わかった
Right.
Yeah, I'd probably say I liked Shenmue 3 the first time I played it. And now I love
うお
Shenmue 3.
Ren.
I can say that.
俺様ここに立
It's one of
そうだったの
those,
か
I think, if you play it
何か手
again
がかりは
and sort of
金の音
slow
が
down
こ
a
こだっ
little
て
bit
いう
and
の
take
は
it for what it is,
子供が一人よし
um, it grows on people. I do think the reputation around it has changed a little bit.
君が
そうだよ
聞きたいこと
But
が
there
ユア
are
ンっ
the
て
same
人
people
見た
crying
え
about Shenmue 3
女
on
みたいな
social
格好でも
media,
声は男なんだ
etc.
見た
And
こ
we
と
just
あ
need to
る
get
よ
past it. If you want Shenmue 4,
本当
get
かい
past it.
どこで
Because it ain't going to change now.
4 years on now.
だけど
Like,
教
they're
え
not
てく
going
れ
to
ないか
remake it.
Mm.
They're unlikely to do a Shenmue Kiwami, anything like that.
おもちゃ
They
そう言
can't
われてもな
justify the money. They need to finish it and then go back.
おいどうしたいやあげられるものが何もないんだしけてる野郎だなこいつは貸しだぜ
Let's propose that question back at you. Cornitos, how did you like it? If you played it, yeah.
持ってけ
アフターバーナーだ
Yeah,
やった
exactly, Asmund. Landy was all going to smash Rio. We knew that. I don't have people thinking he's going to beat
教えてくれないかな
Landy.
ね
Nah.
黒いの
あ他には
真似する
Or in the words of LA Knight, nah nah.
カゴ
Bit of a
入ってる
wrestling
の
reference there for anybody who's been
カゴ
watching
の
that
中
and saw him get screwed out of money in the bank.
それって
Stuff
よく休館長
Cornitos.
連れ
旧館長ユアンがどこに住んでいる
わかんないでも
There's probably more to do in Shenmue 3 than, you know, side activity wise, anyway.
すいません
I
ユア
would
ンって男
agree.
You
Yeah.
派手な格好をして
あ
See how he beats Landy without some sort of a minor
Gomena.
time skip.
こう
I
聞く
could
か
agree
ら
with that.
旧
あそれでしたら
鳥屋わかりまし
Said
た
that before. It's the only way in it. Got to take a montage.
Gonna take a montage. I love that film.
Really got the impression Landy let Rio pursue him, almost like he's testing Rio. I can see it actually, but then again, he does seem surprised that Rio keeps hot on his trails. You know, when he's on the helicopter, he's like looking at him. Seems a bit surprised that Rio's actually there in Hong Kong. Then again, later when he shows up in his castle, it's like, kind of like he's not expecting him.
Quickly save this.
I mean, at this point, how does Landy not realise he's got the Phoenix Mirror?
Wow. Depending on what you think as canon, I guess, the anime, he is aware of it.
True.
And actually, Gogo Sega makes a point about the budget for Shenmue 3. When you think, obviously, with the leaked Sony documents from that fucking FTC Xbox bollocks last week, which I fucking fed up of, they talked about Horizon having a $200 million budget. Shenmue 3 had a tenth of that. So
I know what's the more fun game to me.
So
out of the two.
you sit there and go, it's had a tenth of the budget. A tenth of the budget. So what they got out of the budget they had is actually pretty fucking good. Yes, you can criticise the story and some of the mechanics, etc., and they are valid. Absolutely valid. But it doesn't mean they didn't do a good job of what they had. Was some of it focused in the wrong areas? Possibly. And that's a discussion I will happily have with anybody, because I think that's justified. But people going around going, oh yeah, it's just lazily made, all that crap. It wasn't lazily made. They made the best of what they had. They just...
Scribe says as well, a fraction of the devs too.
Yeah. It just needed a bit more time in the oven to get to flesh out the story content, and I think actually we'd have had a very different reaction from some people. But I don't want to gloss over the criticisms of it, because they are valid. They are valid. But it doesn't mean I don't like the game. I do like the game.
Definitely grows on you more.
Yeah.
The more you play it, definitely. There's a Northern Chinese integration of martial arts in Shenmue. Whereas...
すいません。はい。休館長のことなんですが、お客さんは休館長。
What's profit margin like on that Horizon? Was that in that document?
I think they
他には
200 million to develop, and they made like 400 million in total.
あ、そうそう。特別
Okay.
派手
So
な
they fucking
他
like
には
got that money back.
言うんだ。おや、よ。その男はここに。毎日
Feng
餌を買いに。い
Huang, isn't it?
つ頃
Niao
です。大体
in real
わかりました。
Yeah.
待ってみるか。
Yeah. That's correct, Matt.
Um,
If you're interested in that kind of stuff as well, bad boy. Again, might as well link some shit while we're doing this, Matt. But check out some of the latest lore stream episodes, because we cover. Hang on a second.
it's alright, no worries.
I'll get the playlist.
You
I covered a lot of like.
While you're finding that, James, I'll answer Cornito's question. Any chance of Shenmue
Yeah.
4? Any updates, etc.? News? At the moment, no. In terms of news, outside of what's already out there, the 110 Industries rumours, I think, have died. I think that ship has sailed. Being honest with you.
最近流行ってないよね。
But there's always a chance for Shenmue 4. WiseNet are working, they're busy, they've got Air Twister coming to all platforms, they're open for business, and all the time they're open for business, Shenmue 4 has a chance. If Air Twister does well, that is more money in the kitty for Shenmue 4.
何をべちゃくちゃ喋ってんだよ。
So I'd urge anybody to back and support Air Twister.
はいよろしくお願いします。
やっと終わったみてえだな。うん。
My mouse, there we are. Time are we at? Go for another 5-ish minutes. Yeah, I can definitely finish Kowloon next stream.
またエレベーターに乗るのか。
追うぞ。
ああ。
ぼちっ
I can watch some of these lore things myself, to be honest. Forgot I covered this stuff. I'd guess. I think I do show Feng Yuan at the start of this.
一回で折れたみてえだな。
俺たちも降りよ
I enjoyed this one actually.
I think
Yeah, this is the one where I started off with the Lee River,
Oh, yeah.
and that does go into Fengyuang, I think.
To answer Sean's question, question statement, I think 110 were playing us. I don't know. There's not smoke without fire. That's the only thing I'll say on that.
嫌がった。近づきすぎる
And
なよ。
Bad Boy, that
分か
rumor
ってる
that
Go.
was on 4chan, I did do a video on it, and I do honestly think it was bullshit. I'd love to be wrong.
"あんなところにやがる。行くぞ。
ああ
Right.
Swear I did more Fengyuang.
Yeah. Those 4chan rumors, unlikely. I'd love to be wrong. Absolutely love to be wrong. I can't see it. Not in a million years.
There we go. Found it. It was in me Dragon and Phoenix episode. Obviously,
行くぞ。
あ
when I went into the Phoenix stuff, the Phoenix is called Fengyuang. Chinese.
Yeah, Air Twist is. I'm looking forward to playing it on a platform that I can actually save the fucking thing on.
That's true. God, you could never save the game.
No, I could never save it on Apple TV. Have you guys walked in Rio's footsteps yet? I'd love to visit some of these places in real life. James has. James has had the privilege of doing that, go to Dewita and having a look round. I haven't.
この間頼んどいたナイフは入ったのかしら
I'd love to.
はいはい
It's
も
on
ち
the
ろんで
bucket
す
list one day.
先ほど部下の方が受け取りに来られましてあらそうだったのいつ頃
Is Air Twister
ほんの1
physical?
時間ほ
Yes,
ど前
it
で
is.
す今頃はご自宅の方にそうそれは楽しみだわ
なんだおいあれは。ナイフ集めが趣味かよ。
おい聞こえるぞ
ああ、分かったろよ。
また夜はね毎度あ
Um,
りがとうございます
we'll go next Friday, Scribe.
とこっちじゃなかっ
Excellent
たわ
stream.
あんなところにやがる。行くぞ。
Let's
Ah.
try and get through a little bit more of this, and then I'm going to call the stream because it's been a fucking mental day, and I need bed.
Yeah, I went Yokosuka. God, where else did I go, Matt? I went Beijing. It's kind of like stuff that we may see in the future.
You went to Shozu, didn't you, as well?
Yeah, I went Shozu, Shanghai,
I see.
Cheyenne,
優雅なひとときって感じね
and Yokosuka. So those are kind of like your Shenmue-esque locations. The Great Wall of China, I suppose. Is what that's like
待
Beijing.
てもう少し様子を見よ
Um,
う大体お前が尾行するって言い出したんだぞ
I definitely do more
so good.
Great Wall of China walking.
ああ美味しかったよし行くぞ
Oh, Lemon's just sent us the Sega leak from '97. I was
Oh,
gonna,
yeah.
I was gonna ask actually where I could get it like properly, but he's just sent it. So
The documents.
Yeah. I need to have a read of it.
Yeah, we got that. Did I grab it from? I think someone did link it on Twitter. I was reading through some of it.
I've like caught like the odd screenshot here or there. I haven't like read it properly, like in the proper document. I'm gonna download it probably later or tomorrow.
やがった。近づきすぎる。
Oh, Sean, mate, me neither,
分かってる
man.
行こ
That
う
was a crazy spot as well. Like if from that Ren Kirin on the back of Ren's jacket thing, which I never realised either. one of the early episodes, we were talking about the Kirin, weren't we?
Right.
It might have been in the... Was it the 4 Heavenly Beasts episode I did? Because there was like some discussion depending on what 4... I think it's like the 4 holy symbols and the 4 heavenly something else. And one of them, the Kirin, is part of that 4. And then I think there was another video where I think it might be the Dragon Phoenix video, that episode where some lady was on about the 5 mythological creatures. So you've got Dragon, Phoenix, the Black Tortoise, the White Tiger, and then there was a 5th one, kind of like above all of those, that was called the Kirin, I think, something like that. Like I say, I'd have to go back and watch my own fucking lore streams again because I forgot myself, but something like that. So that is interesting. It's on Ren's jacket, and the fact that he's a Mongolian horseback rider is actually like quoted in the Shenmue 1 and 2 Japanese website.
Yeah,
that's really interesting as well.
We were talking about that the other day, weren't we?
Yeah, because you don't know Ren's heritage, really, do you? You only know what you're told from the series, that he's part of this Heavens gang. But if you read that description, it's like no one knows his history, his past. But, you know, it's rumoured that he's a Mongolian horseback rider. It's like very specific detail for it not to be a thing. And we're meant to be going Mongolia at some point in the future of the series. I think that's chapter 10 or chapter 9.
It's quite late in, isn't
Mongolia.
It's quite late in. Very late in, actually, when you think about it. On that bombshell, I'm going to bring us to a close just a couple of minutes before 11 o'clock, and we are tailing you out, which is really, really good, actually. So I think I can smash through the rest of Kowloon next stream, and then it leaves Guilin for the stream after that, and then into Shenmue 3 to take us out to the end of the year, which sounds really crazy saying it like that right now. Thank you, Cornitos, for the follow as well. Much appreciated. We are streaming normally on the 4th of every month. Next month will be either the 3rd or the 5th because I am at a wedding on the 4th. So I will not be around.
We'll work around that. Not an issue, man.
So I'd stream from the wedding, but you'd probably just see me pissed. Don't think it'd go very well.
Fun.
Oh, thank you, Terry, for the gift sub as well. That is
Terry.
Amazing. Thank you very much. So, guys, thank you for dropping in on the content as always. Content we've got coming up in the next week or so. Go to the wedding dressed as Landy. I could go as a black suit, put my sunglasses on. There we go. That'd be nice and easy. Content coming up. We've got a video. I've got a video coming out on Saturday. I won't ruin the topic on that one. If you haven't seen it already, today we released the review of our review of The Gamer's Journey, the Shenmue documentary. Spot on, grab it. It's available on streaming platforms currently. And next Friday, James will be doing his lore stream, which I believe is it episode 8 now?
Episode 8, yeah, you're right.
Boom. I'm quite impressed. I remember
smashing through them.
Episode 8. That's insane.
Episode
and
8.
We are going to be looking at when we're going to record a new podcast as well. So keep your eyes out for that. As ever, guys, drop us a follow. YouTube, Twitter, Facebook. You know where we are. Thank you so much. And any news that drops, James and I will certainly be going at pains to make sure that is released as soon as we know about it. As soon as it's out there, we will be tweeting about it. But for now, I'm going to take us out on Wish, as I always do. Thank you for dropping in, guys. And James and I will see you soon. Have a good rest of the week and all the best. See you later, guys. All the best.
Cheers, guys.
そう